Okay, Aero 167, go for control surface check. Ailerons, check. We are in intermediate mode. Elevator check. Rudder check. Okay, let's power up the motor. Motor power's on, just fine. This actually sounds considerably better. Let's center the trim back out to 0. Okay. Alright, we got some telephone poles in front of us. The flight area is reduced a little bit tonight due to activity setting up for a community function. So we're gonna see how well she flies. We'll find out pretty quick. It's got a new ESC in it thanks to Hobbyzone Hobby. So let's see if this improves it. We're gonna take off and then pull off to the left. And I think we should be set. Aero 167. Or a cliff takeoff. Wow! She's fast. Okay, so that was that took me by surprise. Apparently that was the ESC that was bad. I've never had this thing go so fast before. Oh my goodness gracious. Adrenaline's really flowing. I did not expect it to take off like that. I'm at 50% throttle and this thing is actually holding altitude for a change. Actually, yeah, right at 50% throttle, and it is perfect. It was the ESC all along. 2 motors, 3 months worth of work, and finally it flies. Awesome. Now it flies like it should. So awesome, thanks to Hobbyzone Hobby's customer service for helping me out here. They turned what I thought was going to be a garage queen or hangar queen into a beautiful flying airplane. I can now certainly recommend the Corsair S to anybody. Before, I considered this one of the worst flying airplanes, but it turns out it just had a faulty ESC. Oh, it's beautiful. Yep, this thing's going to get a lot more flight time now that it actually works. She looks gorgeous flying up here with the setting sun behind it. Oh, wow. %50 throttle and she just cruises around. Now normally this thing would not fly below 75 and 80% throttle, and even at 100% throttle, it was never as quick as it is now. Nor is it easy to fly. I was constantly on the sticks trying to keep this thing in the air. And now it just flies. The whole time it was just that stupid speed controller. Wow. No reason to soup this thing up or make any changes to it. It is a beautiful flying airplane. This is the way it was meant to be flown. Oh, she is awesome. What an absolute stunner in the air. Yeah, I was actually getting ready to either sell the airplane, hop it up, do something to it. I was very disappointed in this airplane until today. I just, for the longest time, could not believe that anybody would fly this airplane or the Hobbyzone Corsair in the way that mine flew out of the box. But now that I have it flying properly, I can see why people love this airplane. Definitely get a thumbs up on this one. I'm going to leave it in intermediate mode but I can quickly see that after it passes its flight test here, I'll probably switch this thing into experience mode and really get this thing doing rolls and loops. But for tonight, we're just going to focus on flight testing. Going to kind of expand out the flight area a little bit longer. Here we go. Wow. Yep, this thing went from one of the most frustrating airplanes to one of the easiest and most relaxing planes I have. This thing is just great. My goal was to make it as quick as the Apprentice or my Archer, and I succeeded. And all it took was sending the old speed controller back to Horizon Hobby, and they sent me a new one. Yeah, the customer service at Horizon Hobby is absolutely fantastic. That's one reason why I continue to buy all my aircraft from them, is because their customer service is just phenomenal. They really took care of me on it. It took a while, but they took care of me in the end, and that's all that matters, and they continue to work with me during the entire process. So yeah, thanks again. Sun's down now below the trees, so I can actually fly in front of the sun now. Man, that thing is totally cool. I gotta watch it to go in that direction because it does get hard to see it. Yeah, it's a little hard to see backlit. So we'll stay back over here. We don't have too much longer on the battery, and we'll bring her on in. The wind died down just enough too. Winds were about 13 miles per hour about a half hour ago, and just started to die down at the just before sunset, which it was forecasted to do, and I'm glad it did. Gave me an opportunity to fly this. Yeah, Aero 167, you're doing good. And it sounds so much better too. It never used to sound like this with the original speed controller and the first two motors. It sounded horrible in the air. It sounded like the engine was, or the motor was full of marbles. It doesn't have that anymore. Now it just sounds perfect. So yeah, could you use this as a trainer? Boy, I don't know. It's questionable. It's hard to say. I've had enough flight experience now that it's difficult for me to say if this is a good trainer. I would probably start with something with the 3-channel to begin with, and maybe you could move into this as a 4-channel as your first 4-channel plane. But you'd have to be really, really, you have to be pretty good to do it. But going from a high wing trainer to this, yeah, definitely, you could do it, and it's worth it. So, all right, well, let's bring the altitude down. Let's bring the power down. It's starting to lose sunlight, so it's starting to get a little difficult to see. I do have my sunglasses on. That's not helping. So let's bring her on in. Here we go. Power down. Power down. About 25% throttle. I'm going to make the turn to final. Make sure we're clear. Oh, beautiful. All right, well, that successfully tested out Aero 167. I think she is good to go. So thanks Horizon Hobby for saving the day and keeping this airplane in my hangar. Otherwise I was probably going to get rid of it. So thanks again, guys.